Ho, ho, ho! In today's Christmas spot, we'll be having a look at some Monogram, Tim Burton, The Nightmare Before Christmas Figural Keyrings Series 2. Already had a look at Series 1 and thought it would be fitting to have a look at Series 2 during the holiday season, and we're going to be having a look at entire case. Hope you guys are ready, because we're going to have an unboxing of this entire case here. We're going to go through every single one of these bags until we hopefully can get the entire set of Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's see it. Do I have everything ready? Knife, check. Small beverage, check. Roast beef flavored gum, ew, check. Let's go ahead and open up. We'll grab the first bag, and there's the front of it. Figural Keyrings Series 2. Of course, there is a warning: choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years of age. Yes, you are correct. This is going to be a longer video. Here on the back is all the characters that we're getting inside Series 2. We got Jack, Sally, Dr. Finkelstein, Wolfman, Santa, Igor, Killer Duck, the Pumpkin King, Mummy, and exclusive A and exclusive B. I'm sure B is probably 0, and exclusive A is probably Oogie. By the way, also, you want to check out some cool collectibles? I don't blame you. Head over to www.monogramdirect.com. Lots of stuff going on over there. Check it out. Let's go ahead and open up the first bag and all the subsequent bags afterwards until, again, we have everything done. What a good way to start. We have Jack Skellington as our first figure. Now, this one's actually kind of neat because he's got the head that he's holding in his hand. One problem that I could potentially see with a figural keyring like this is the stability of that little arm right there that's connecting to the head. The head is really cool, and of course the fact that he's holding his head in his hand is pretty neat. Just hope that, you know, that would stay. This would be probably the kind of keychain, as good as it is, I may not actually use for a keychain. Rather, I would probably just use this as my displays. I would probably just put this with my other Monogram figural keyring display. But again, some really cool details there. Loving, again, that head. There's the back of it. Night Before Christmas. Good way to start. Get ourselves a Jack. We'll move the wrappers over here. Those will be for Santa when he arrives. Cookies and milk? No. This guy's house, you just get garbage. No, that's not true. I do leave out cookies and milk for Santa. Actually, he likes eggnog, from what I've heard. Next one we have is what appears to be a glow-in-the-dark 0. It even says on the tag, glow-in-the-dark. Right there. I could see, I'm going to hold this one up to the light while I just have a conversation with you guys. I'm going to see if this one actually glows in the dark. We're going to do this right now because, heaven forbid, we get to the end of this video and this guy forgets. That may potentially happen. So as I'm burning my hand, because my hand is right up against the lamp, and as the glow-in-the-dark 0 is absorbing some of those lights, we're going to see if I can actually get this guy to glow in the dark. Now, I've held it up to the light for, well, you were here for that. Let's see if this guy glows in the dark. Well, he does, but it's kind of hard to see. I should have probably held it up against the light a little bit more, but it actually is glowing a nice bright green. Just wish just can't quite see it. Again, a pretty cool glow-in-the-dark 0. Let's put him to the side, fittingly enough with his master, Jack. And let's open up bag number 3. I know you guys do enjoy watching these Monogram unboxings. It's actually one of my favorite things to unbox because they're just really neat. They're very distinct from one another. They obviously don't take all the same mold cues from one another. They're all very unique from one another. Next one we have is the duck. It's funny that this one has become such a popular thing among collectors, the Killer Duck, to be actually exact, the Killer Duck. And a nice choice on Monogram's part to include the Killer Duck as one of their optional keyrings in this wave. I mean, and the beauty of Nightmare Before Christmas is there are so many characters, they could easily do a Series 3 and a Series 4. Maybe let me know down below what you would like to see for a future Monogram International, not necessarily figural keyrings, but of the Nightmare Before Christmas variety. Let me know down below. Next one we have is a very off-looking shaped Igor. And I love how they've taken the whole body as basically the main key ring, and then the head is actually inside. Face sculpt is really cool on him as well. He's got a bone in his hand. This one would definitely be, unlike Jack, a much easier one to have in your pocket as a keyring, because there's really, it's just a very substantial, it's not really any small limbs or anything like that. Again, there's the back of it. Nightmare Before Christmas. Very, very nice. And let's open up the next bag. You know, so far, oh, never mind. I was going to say, so far we're actually doing pretty good for having no doubles. Just as quickly as this guy says it, we get ourselves another Jack. Again, I'm a little apprehensive about how, not fragile, but how thin his arm is, and it's supporting the head. You know, again, putting that in a key, in a pocket designated for keys. This one you might want to maybe leave out. As good as it looks, I will admit it, probably not one for your pocket. Just saying. Now, I think in the last video, one of the last Monogram videos, I calculated that there's about, I think there's 24 in a case. So there's lots of options, lots of possibilities. And the beauty of doing uncasing videos like this is that you guys can see how many, if you were to say to go into a comic book store, where a lot of these are usually the most easiest to find. When you go to a comic book store, you'll know, well, if I want to get Igor, how many Igors likely are going to be inside the packaging? So far, the answer I would give you is 2. We may get more, but right now the answer would be 2. Let's grab the next bag. Oh, and inside, see, I like that the Jacks are not the more rare ones to get. Like Jack and Sally, I would hope would be more readily available. So if you guys are interested in specifically just Jack would be a little easier to come by. Even like they've done like the little very intricate lines of his pinstripe suit. Very nice. So that makes us now 3 Jacks in. Still no Sally though, but as they say, the night is young, my friends. If you are watching this at night, I don't know. What time are you watching this video? Let me know down below. Next one we have is the Mummy. I really quite like this one. Sculpted all the individual bandages here wrapped around its body and its head. One singular eyeball. This, surprisingly enough, might be one of my personal favorites. Very nice. I like this one. I like this one. Marking it down on my calendar. I don't know why I would mark that on calendar. That's more like an agenda book sort of notation. And we were just discussing Igor before. There's a third Igor for you. Parvus au français. You speak French? Not quite. Just a little bit. Un petit peu. Un petit peu. Which is a little bit. Next one we have is another mummy. Now, would you have, say if we have one, coincidentally enough, I can actually play out this example. Say we have 2 mummies. Would they still be mummies? I guess they would. Yeah, mummies. Mummies alive. You know, it was cartoon Mummies Alive. Let me just detract what I was going to say. I was going to throw out this, would that be plural? No, it is. That was a pretty straightforward question and answer both by myself. And to go along with Jack, we've got ourselves a Pumpkin King. The Pumpkin King, to be exact. He has torch in hand, kind of more like a scarecrow. Well, at least the brown and the red's more like a scarecrow. And the giant pumpkin. The giant pumpkin. Is that French? No, it's not. That's just skewed English. Very nice. Oh, and just to give you a comparison in sizes. Bodies are actually about the same size. So equally said for the heads. And let's open the next bag. By the way, I'm just going to say this as well. If somebody is asking how much these are, generally you can get them at comic book stores for about, say, $4 or $5, which I think are quite reasonable. If you want. And again, like these are a good substantial, I don't know if it's rubber, but it does feel like rubber. And of course you've got the little keyring loop on the top there. I didn't even notice this before, but the stem of the pumpkin is actually part of the loop of the keyring. That's clever. That is clever. Gives us 2 Pumpkin Kings, and I think, what did we at? 3 Jacks, 2 Pumpkin Kings, and a partridge in the pear tree. To go along with Jack, we have ourselves a Sally, making a considerable pile over here. Another Sally, or a Sally, to go with the multiple Jacks. Look at the very bright, vibrant hair of Sally here. Very colorful as well. Her colors in the movie are a little bit more, a little darker, a little dingier. But I do like that Monogram gives it a good pop of color, making all those colors pop. Pop! Let's go ahead and open up the next bag. This was the one I was really looking forward to getting, especially with it being the holiday season after all, is Santa Claus. A little bit of a smudge on his face. Let's just see if we can get that off. Almost. There we go. He also has a little candy cane in his hand. No feet, but I mean he's mostly jacket, and he's got his little Santa hat. Again, this one's a good substantial one. This is one that you could put in your pocket. You'd have no worries whatsoever. Even like put the little wrinkles and creases by the belt of Santa there. Really like this one a lot. And let's see, we're about halfway through the case. Oops, I just dropped my knife. Well, I can't reach for it. It's under, hold on one second. I'm gonna have to pause the video. Hold on one second. Those waiting with bated breath, don't worry, I found my knife. It's on the floor. And let's see who we got for the next bag. That had to take a bit of pause while Butterfingers here had to go grab his knife. Got another Sally. Really, again, love the stitch work on her face there around the lips and above the eye. I want to say, like, Sally may likely make my top 3. Now let's quickly have a look at the back and do a tally of the ones we didn't get. So far, no Dr. Finkelstein. So far, no Wolfman. And so far, just exclusive A we don't have. So we have 1, 2, yes, Mark, 3 that we have not picked up yet of these bags. Let's hope at least. And so far, I've yet to find a case of Monogram stuff that I've opened up in which I did not get the entire set, including the exclusive A and B options. Now, granted, the A's and the B's are usually a 1 per case. So if you get that, like, for example, the glow-in-the-dark 0, that's good. That's good for you. Got another Killer Duck. Quack, quack, quack. Killer Duck. It's funny that the squeaking of the wheels sounds exactly like wiping Santa's face. Did you notice that? My repertoire of sound effects is a very bare minimum. Speaking of, I didn't say speaking of, but I'll bring this into the equation now. Speaking of large figures, which I know I really wasn't talking about large figures. Well, speaking of Santa Claus, another large figure is the Wolfman. This one actually has a lot of pop of color. Orange in his, of course, his shirt. Got the white in his eyes, the teeth there. I like this one a lot too. They did a good thing too also by kind of recessing the lower area of the torso so that the head stuck out further. His arms are, speaking of sticking out, this one actually is legitimately correct. Speaking of the arms sticking out, his arms are sticking out. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just keep going. Keep going. Grab the next bag. Doesn't really work when you say speaking of, and it's not really the last thing you were speaking of. The next one we have is Dr. Finkelstein, which for a second I felt like his wheels could actually spin, but it turns out they're just rubber. They give you the illusion that they can actually spin. That not be the case. But they did a pretty good job of molding everything to his wheelchair to give you the illusion that he's actually sitting in a chair, but it's actually just all one rubber piece. Very well crafted. I tip my hat to you, Monogram. Once again, the keychain up at the top. That's a good, stable, secure keychain that you could put in your pocket. Maybe the wheels would be something you'd have to worry about because they're not 100% attached. But other than that, that's a good-looking keychain. That's a good-looking keychain. How many do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are making some short work going through this. I couldn't have done this without you guys. You guys are the wing beneath my wings. The wind beneath my wings. Next one we have is another Dr. Finkelstein. I suppose they could have put some extra black and stuff around here just to kind of make some of those details pop, so he doesn't just appear like a very all-white looking character. But other than that, again, a really nice looking keychain. There's Mac right there. And we are down to the wire. We have 5 left. This one feels heavy. Maybe another... Wolfman, maybe? What are you guys guessing? Wolfman? No, not at all. It's the exclusive A, which is a glow-in-the-dark Oogie. Okay, exclusive A, exclusive B. I love these I wasn't going to say translucent. I love these glow-in-the-dark, which I suppose, to be fair, does have some level of translucency to them. You can see my hand slightly behind the hand, or the arm area of Oogie. That gives us our exclusive A. That gives us our exclusive B. We are set. And once again, just doing a quick tally. We have managed, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, to get ourselves the entire set. All of them. All of them. Which would be a total of 11. 5 on the top, right? 6 on the bottom, yes? That gives us 11. Simple math. But let's see how many extra figures that we get for the rest of this unboxing, because of course that's crucial. Got ourselves another Pumpkin King, and I think so far the only ones other than the exclusives that are of limited quantities are Santa and the Wolfman, because we got ourselves another mummy. I feel so stupid for saying that earlier. What's the plural of mummy? Oh boy. Another mummy. That gives us 3 mummies. This one feels heavy. This could maybe be another Santa. And we have another Santa. So Santa is not a 1 per case. Whoosh, that's good. That's a relief. 1 per case, not this guy. Santa. 2 per case. The only one that isn't a 2 per case so far, unless this one is here, is Wolfman. Now, what do you think the chances are that Wolfman is going to be in this bag right here? Well, guys, thanks for watching, as you always do. I'll see it. No, I wouldn't do that. Can you imagine if I just... I've used that joke before, but I think it's so funny. I wouldn't do that, though. I wouldn't do that. There's another Wolfman for you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's for you. Another Wolfman. So no 1 per case, except, I would say, for, again, the exclusives. But those are usually a 1 per case anyways. Of the figures that we looked at, all of them are actually really cool. I'm not going to count the exclusives, but I would say my favorites from this wave, I would say, surprisingly, I really like the Mummy. I don't know, that's just me. I like the Mummy. I think he, or it, or she, he, I think it's cool. Doesn't really stand up very well, though. I'm going to just lay him down. Mummy. Also really like the Jack Skellington. Little worried about the way he's holding his head, but I do like the design choice for it. It's definitely different than just a regular Jack Skellington. And I might even say it's the holiday season after all. One of my other favorites is Santa Claus in all his very round, rotund splendor. What are your 3 favorites from the Monogram International Nightmare Before Christmas Series 2? By the way, speaking of, see, that one actually works. Speaking of, that's what we were looking at today. Today's Christmas spot, we're looking at the Monogram International Nightmare Before Christmas Series 2 Figural Keyrings. We looked at an entire case. And I dropped some stuff on the floor through the process of, but we made it through in one piece. Thanks to you guys. If you guys also want to pick these up for yourself, you can find them at your local comic book stores. A lot of retail stores are stocking these as well. And of course, speaking of this channel, There's going to be a lot more Christmas spots. There's a few left, a few sprinklings left before the big day. It's Christmas. I was waiting for somebody to yell out Christmas. It's Christmas, guys. A couple of days left before Christmas. Going to get a couple more of these Christmas spots up before that time comes. I may carry it over after Christmas. Depends on how much stuff I'm doing. If I'm stuffing turkeys and all the Yuletide stuff, I may not be able to get them all up, but we'll try. We'll try to get them up before Christmas. A lot of yammering going on at the end of this video. Wrapping up. Today, though, again, we're looking at the Monogram International Night Before Christmas Figural Keyrings Series 2. Thanks for watching as you always do, guys. I'll see you next time.